So we don't really even see a line of scrimmage here coming out of OCU. They are leaving topside tri-brush open. Um, line of scrimmage from York, so it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah,
you got to keep those things in mind as OCU that you are, you're in a competitive league against other organized teams. You want to make sure you're covering your bases. You don't want to be slacking on those kind of
yeah,
things.
definitely. And they are covering most of the entrances there, and they kind of stack 2 on the most common brush to invade for the bot side. So maybe just looking for a
And a big thing
tweaky.
is they don't really have to worry about the York comp is not their comp is obviously not looking for the level 1 engage. They don't have much to catch. They're going up against a pike with hook.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't really want to look to go into that.
And both junglers starting bot side. Another thing to point out here in the mid lane, we're Ignite versus Barrier matchup, so that's pretty cool to see in the mid lane. Both summoners here understanding that it's a pretty volatile matchup with the Lucian here. And if either were to take the combat summoner and the other one take TP, then they would have.
I think
a lane advantage.
taking barrier on Xerath is pretty standard, though, regardless of your matchup. Because of how immobile you are, especially in the meta now. A lot of assassin junglers as well as mid laners are in the meta, so it's pretty habit to take barrier
Gotcha.
as a Xerath player.
Yeah, makes sense. And we see here's the Caitlyn push. So with that Q, if you hit every minion, you can also hit enemy champions. You just pretty much instantly get control of the lane. Not to mention you have the Sona here with this poke that you were talking about earlier. They should be able to get control. And it'll cost a lot of Ziggs mana to stop this push from happening. And if they can tick that mana down and keep the pressure up, it'll force Ziggs into a situation where he won't have the best recall, and he did not run the teleport. And Kate actually did.
Oh, I did not notice that. We're looking at TP on Caitlyn. It's a pretty ballsy play to take that, especially with a Kayn. Not to have flash on Caitlyn with Kayn is definitely scary, especially with, like we said,
She has
if
flash.
ended up taking the...
You mean not to have heal, sorry.
Yes, not to have heal, yeah.
Yep, no heal on the Kate, but Sona has heal, and Sona also heals herself. Ooh.
Oh, big trap there.
Pike walking right into a trap. I think minions kill him. I think that kills him. Yes, it does. First blood.
Wow,
Sona.
what a play.
Yeah, he walked right onto a trap. Really nice trap by Laser King. Puts it right behind him where he's pathing, and Fire Burning Blue just not able to walk around that and gets punished by the minion auto.
So we do see Kate looking here top lane. Maybe we're going to see a gank coming out. Mordekaiser is really shoved in, so we'll see. We do have Olaf in the top lane ready to respond to it with a counter gank.
Yeah, the difference is Olaf's getting that crab and Kane isn't. So while Kane was looking and try, he's actually sitting on a ward while Olaf gets crab. Now they're both racing to the bot crab to see who can double crab who. Olaf wins it, especially with the Lucian push and the Kate Sona. So Kane, at this point, I think probably should just settle for his...
He should give it up. Otherwise, he'll be putting
yeah.
himself in a predicament.
Yep. That's the power of Olaf here. You go for that double crab probably every game. I don't play a lot of Olaf, but that's what I probably would look for. Sona walking up a bit too far will get caught by the Pike Q into E and just goes
damage.
down.
Yeah, getting the pull into the Ziggs landmines. I don't know what you call those.
Mine explosives.
Mine explosives. Yeah, getting the pull in there, like triggering those is big damage.
Yep, and now we see Pike engaging, but Olaf was waiting in the shadow, but so was Kane, who comes over and gets Kate with the W. Now it's a 3v1. The hook will land on Olaf. I think he either flashes. He does flash. So he flashes the fat wall. Nice flash by him, but really nice plays from Oklahoma Christian University, putting themselves in a 2-to-1 kill lead. But down in gold. Look at the CS lead mid. I think that's where the gold lead is actually coming from. After each lane is up.
And honestly, that is very threatening as a Xerath. You want to be keeping that up. We haven't seen much in the mid lane, but that could be an issue with his ability usage, because you should be able to, using your abilities, pick up the farm even from a safe distance, unless he's trying to poke the Lucian off of his CS, which in my opinion is a mistake. You want to be focusing on your farm. You want to get that gold. Otherwise, you're just putting yourself further behind in a lane that you already lose.
Yeah, but we see a big clapback from Oklahoma Christian on this Pike making plays. Ziggs with the kill. Kane with an early kill. You see he will go with the blue enchant. And not sure where his points are standing, but Yeah, not the worst start.
So what I'm curious to see is, keeping an eye on this Pike, because he is the, on their roster, he is the Iron player, I believe.
Whoa.
And smurfing is illegal in this tournament, so we will see how he performs here. His match history did look a little
sus.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how he performs here and make judgment calls off of that.
Yeah, possible sus Iron player down here. I have to keep an eye on that. I'm not judging anyone, but if he's
like I said, rank disparity doesn't mean much. You can outperform your opponent through teamwork, regardless of solo queue ranks. So we just got to see how the tides will turn.
Yeah, as we see
another pull under tower.
Yeah, that's a pretty free Sona flash there with a nice pike hook, and also Ziggs was bopping Kate into turret. So both of those bot lane champions for York stepping a bit too far, getting punished again.
Yeah. So I think regardless of being punished there and getting pulled under tower, they do win the trade because of the Sona heals as well as the Kate damage that she got down on the Ziggs.
Yeah, and we see Olaf lining up down here. He'll probably look to invade and get that blue, while Kane could possibly, I think, just showed over a ward, letting Olaf know he can do this. And Olaf could also look to dive this bot lane too as well. But Ziggs pretty good at clearing waves out when he needs to.
Yeah, and big damage going down there. The autos from the K with the headshot damage is extreme. We do see the gold lead for York still creeping because there is a big gap in farm for mid and bot. Top is starting to creep a little bit, but the orange...
Oh! Yo, replay that. That was a Kate QE thing where you channel the Q, but then you E.
Yep, and then she might get him with the ult here, so... And she doesn't, though.
That was really clean.
Yeah, if you activate E and then Q almost simultaneously, you do get the animation cancel. So we'll see, if we do see replays, we'll see them pulled up on this monitor here.
Alright, so as we resume it with this action here, we still see bot lane constantly pushing for the Caitlyn Sona. You can kind of expect this in a 30 CS lead building here in the bot lane. We'll get cleaned up a bit by Ziggs here. Not to mention 30 in the mid lane. So we're starting to see these rank discrepancies sort of come through with farm leads, right?
Yeah,
also,
farm is a pretty easy way to recognize those kind of things. We all know how important CSing is. Certain levels of players will recognize how important that is and really, really focus on making sure they keep up with as perfect farm as they can to get those advantages. Some lower ranked players, they don't, respect how important farm is.
Yep, it's also hard to manage farming, trading with your opponent, also keeping tabs on the jungler. There's so many things you guys need to be doing. And on top of that, the wave management it takes to actually have perfect farm, you need to understand what the wave is doing. Is it coming to you? Is it slowly pushing away? Things like that, so you don't get caught into a trap where I'm sure that has been set in this game by York on Oklahoma Christian. A trap where your wave's just in a really bad state and you're sacking minions.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing that right here in the bot lane. Trade coming down here, but nothing coming out of it. But, right here they had a good freeze, and it was important for Ziggs to use everything they had to try and break that freeze and kill the minions. We did pan over to mid, so I'm not sure if he did deal with that wave properly. But things like that, could give those leads of 5 or 10 CS.
Yep, definitely. You start to see Mordekaiser really beating down on this matchup here into the Ornn. He has some hunting guys. He's working on a Leandries that will melt through.
So Kate is going to come through from the tri-brush here, and they may... Oh, but I didn't even see the Olaf here, ready to respond. Oh, and Kate does get the ult off onto the Ziggs, getting the kill. Kane's going to be able to make his way out of here, though.
Yeah, crazy 3v3 here. Results in a 2-for-1, so Olaf goes down, but so does the bot lane for Oklahoma Christian University. They're definitely happy with that for York because now they get this really nice crash here. Ziggs will be missing these minions, no TP there. Also plate gold possibly to the Caitlyn Sona, so if you are player pyre there, you go down, but I'm pretty sure you're happy with that.
Kane kind of hanging out in the tri on top of this pink. looking like he is going to come in for round 2 as Pike and Ziggs are coming down the lane.
These hits are greedy here from the bot lane.
Yes,
hit the
very,
third here
very
is greed,
greedy.
so we'll see if they get punished. Kane approaching, looking for that W. Will QW on both. It's a straight up 3v2. Sona drops first, leaving Kate vulnerable. Pike gets both, but not with his ult, so he doesn't give the bonus gold to his teammates, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I think that's a big misplay for Kate and Sona there. You definitely should have been ready for that play because it was just too obvious. I think you push them off lane. Kane was around originally, and they're on their way back. You greeted too much.
Runs down Ziggs here. Free kill for player power, pretty much, and they'll say thanks for the leash there. These two
that's going
champions
to be Dragon.
too strong. Yep, that will be Dragon. Those two champs too strong to walk into at this state of the game. I'm not sure. Ziggs just wasn't looking, but Olaf kind of just walked up, threw an axe at him, and just smited him down with the E.
So we do see Kate walking over to top side here to defend the tower a little bit while they make that play on the bot side of the map. Sona making her way up, so I think we do see a lane swap here. Mordekaiser already in the bot lane getting set up to CS, and the other team, OCU, is not prepared for it. They are sending Pike and Ziggs to bot still. I don't know which team this is going to benefit the most here.
This is because York wants plates from the top side, right? They took every plate on the bot half of the map.
Very clever.
And they want more plates. So they're going to get every plate mid with this Herald, and they're also going to get plates with the Kate Sona if it's just Ornn, but we see a 2v2 breakout in response.
Oh, big Sona ult coming out, giving the Kate a free kill with the trap set up, and now they're going to chase down Ornn here. I don't think he's going to be able to get away, but let's see if he can show us a little bit of fancy footwork here. Oh, and he's making the TP, but she's going to get him with a trap, and now he's going to go down.
Okay.
Well played by the Caitlyn there. Not much Ornn could do. Going into the alcove, I think, kind of sealed his fate.
Yep. And this will probably be every plate for York, as we see the Lucian showing his early game prowess here, spotting out Pike, putting that ignite on him to make sure you don't lose him, taking him out there. But yeah, watch Caitlyn Sona are hitting top turret right now. That will be every single plate, and you look at the gold lead here. It's only 8-6 in kills, but they're up 6K-ish, something like that, 5,500. That's pretty crazy. You see bounties on members like Chicken Delivery without even a kill to his name, and it's because they're just stacking these plates and also knocking the turrets down.
We see 30 CS difference in top lane, a 50 CS difference, or almost a 60 CS difference in the mid lane, and a 60 CS difference in the bot lane as well.
This is a masterclass in farming, taking plates, and
getting that gold advantage.
Yeah.
That play there to take the plates in top after they had already gotten on bot was impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't even cross my mind that was their intention.
So they have one plate left with 15 seconds, but they're looking at Xerath here. Kate might just be able to take him down with autos and a Q. Ooh. That mid-game damage.
Pretty free there. Caitlyn's 5-1 with an IE at 13 minutes. She's an extremely dangerous threat.
Yeah, definitely. I see threats across the board also from York, I think. All of these champions here, pretty scary looking. And so York will miss out on one plate top lane, actually. So unfortunate for them.
So there's kind of been a lot going on here, and I didn't catch it at least, but we do have the first two dragons going over to York. They have an Infernal Drake as well as an Ocean Drake. So that's pretty big. Next dragon's coming up in 2 minutes. It's going to be a Mountain. So we're going to see Mountain Soul this game. That would be extremely beneficial for York here, especially depending on which form Kane decides to go with.
Yep, I have to agree. And also we see Herald coming up in 10 seconds, and your Caitlyn's already top. So that means Olaf should be making his way up there. Lucian probably as well.
We do see Olaf and Sona making their way into top river.
Here comes an engage.
So the ult does not hit the Caitlyn here, but we may see a hook. And the hook is not going to hit. So now we have Ornn ult down. 3 here, and oh my god, huge damage going out on the Pike here. And he might get he goes down to Flare Pyre here.
Yeah, Olaf able to just run down, and Kane having a flash. Ornn with an interrupt knockup, but here's the Kate Sona just taking out Kane as well, and that's going to be Herald for them, and they'll probably take that, use the momentum to go get that third Drake. They're on Soul Point, and to me, it looks like they're steamrolling objectives and looking to close out early.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the bot lane, we saw for a quick second a trade between Mordekaiser and Ziggs, poking Ziggs out of lane, letting him shove another wave. So Ziggs missing out on a lot of CS there again, as well as, we have 2 waves piling up into the bot tower, which Pyke is going to do what he can to get him, but, they're really just suffocating the carries here and, taking away a lot of gold and CS from them.
They definitely are, and I think teleport on Ziggs could have maybe helped deal with some of this lane push that you see from the Caitlyn Sona, because if you can use all your mana to perma wave clear so Kate's never hitting your turret, and then just get your Lost Chapter and then TP back to lane, and now you actually have mana regen.
Yeah.
Ziggs could actually wave clear against this comp, but this Ziggs, with already 3 deaths and 7 deaths to the bot lane total, under too much pressure to even really perform as a champion in this role. So not getting the value out of Ziggs here. He's basically just poking, wave clearing, and already too far behind to do Ziggs things.
Yeah, and usually Ziggs taking TP is common in competitive. You see the TP usually on champions like Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Ziggs are pretty common.
Yeah, definitely. So the heal, not too sure about that, but more so give credit to the bot lane, the Caitlyn Sona. That's just a nasty lane to deal with. And despite getting caught by Pyke a few times, they managed to just shrug that off and, keep rinsing, repeating, doing their job.
Mountain Drake going over to York here. I hate to say it, but it's 11-6, which doesn't feel like that big of a difference, but we do see a 10k gold lead on York, picking up another kill on the Xerath here. I hate to say it, but complete domination here. They're running the map, they're running the objectives. I mean, it's happening instantaneously here in the mid lane, under tower, taking kills away from them practically for free.
Yeah, this is getting pretty ugly here. We see the Herald pre-20 minutes just getting dropped on the base of...
Yep, I think this Herald here definitely means a inhibitor for York.
Yep, inhib will go down.
And let's see if they're going to push this lead anymore. It looks like no, they're going to back off, making their way to top to try and take this top tower.
Yeah, and we had Lucent, the top laner from Miami, in an interview the other day with Holy Boxers, and he was talking about the rank discrepancy in Miami versus Goofy Goobers. I believe he said was like a JV high school team playing against a D1 college team.
Yeah.
And so you kind of see the levels coming out here of play. And again, props to Oklahoma Christian University for showing up. They knew what they were against. They saw the Grandmaster in the top lane of chicken delivery.
Yes, yeah, and it might sound, what we're saying might seem harsh, but it's just the reality of the situation they're in. And kudos to OCU and some of our other teams coming out and participating. I mean, as a team, regardless of whether or not you perform well in this league, it's extremely beneficial experience as a competitive team to play against teams of this caliber. A lot of teams, amateur teams coming up, they want to participate in leagues. They don't always get the opportunity to play against teams such as Miami or York or Bar Esports, these teams that are such a high caliber.
Yeah, and they could always use this VOD and take a look at how York was able to methodically get such a lead without even rushing kills, right? Because a lot of players, newer players, less experienced players, sort of think, intuitively, like, I must kill my opponent to get leads in this game, and it's not always necessary.
And I was one of those guys. I'm sure you were at one point as well.
Definitely.
In early stages of League of Legends, it feels like it's a game of team deathmatch, but that's not the case.
Yeah, Lucian Eing aggressively onto the Ornn, so Ornn will look for an ult, but the Lucian damage actually just gets traded with, I think, a Kate ult comes over the top. Olaf here to make sure nothing else happens, and 1 for 0. A bit more sieging coming out of York here pretty soon.
Yeah, well played there by Luigi Mash. Dodging the CC, getting away from the Ornn ult. We saw some fancy footwork, but he may go down.
He could go down here.
I think he can kite this out, potentially, now that he...
There's a flash, which gives him another auto reset to get another E, but chicken delivery actually on the flank will take Smirk into the death realm as we see Pyke looking for a kill, but won't find it, goes down, as well as Kane just getting crit by Caitlyn. The Claw will find the Ziggs, and that's cleanup duty for chicken delivery and the boys. They will advance.
And we do see the Caitlyn TP coming into mid here. This might be game.
Yeah. I think they just siege it here and take it at 20 minutes and about 35 seconds, something like that. So not the quickest we've seen in the LSS, but a pretty quick game and a clean one at that.
Yeah, I am thoroughly impressed with the way York played here. Again, you know, we did mention some of the small discrepancies in the play. For example, the Ziggs TP, as well as some other things. But gotta say, York played it extremely, extremely well.
Yeah, definitely. It just seemed like the pawn was